Hello, it's Anna Starkey from Prodio, and today I'm going to talk about unsuccessful Prodio implementation and what to do to avoid it. First things first, everybody knows that monitoring production in your manufacturer, controlling organization are very, very important, and we all search for the ways of doing it. But let's be honest and answer these questions honestly. Have you had any problems with implementation? You don't know how to deal with them, you don't know what to do. Maybe you've already set up an account and are stuck. Remember that you can always use the chat box window and ask if you have any doubts. But let's be honest, answer these questions honestly. Well, I'm gonna tell you today how to avoid this mistakes, right? How not to make them, and there will be different lessons. So let's start with the simple thing that once you set up an account, it doesn't necessarily mean that you automatically become our client, because many companies, big companies, open accounts simply to search for different ways how to simplify the ERP systems. Also, students learn in this way. So it's not one-to-one, right? Opening an account and becoming a customer. We have also many manufacturers in our database which opened account, and then what happened? They failed to continue. Yes, our software is perfect for them. We base this opinion on our experience, right? This is the way we've made it. It suits them perfectly, but still they failed to implement it, and they don't use it. Look at the first mistake made. Let's call it perfect theory. Right, what is it? Let me tell you. Probably you've been using search engines, right? As everybody, you see the need of, right, I'm going to have software installed in my company, implemented, I want to change something, I want to organize my production better. So what do? You open your computer, right, or your phone, Google it, production, manufacturing software. You don't want to be a fool, so you search for different options, you check different scenarios, and at some point you might come across Prodio, and you've been watching it, observing, see, well, it's quite good, I might risk it, and probably you also prepared a list of detailed questions of possible scenarios, problems, what can go wrong when you install it, because you want it to be super prepared, right? You want it to be as perfect as during sales presentation pitch, the slides the same. Just you want to make sure that your production will work smoothly without a hitch from day one. But let me tell you one thing, it's all theory, and it will be put into the test from day one you start using it. All the problems you invented, you were thinking of, usually 8 in 10 of them will automatically solve themselves once you start using the software, right? You worry that maybe after some time, after 3 weeks of using it, you will change the idea how your production is organized. You want to do it differently, right? You had some new ideas, right? You saw, maybe I might do this better or that better. It's no problem. You can give us a call, we can zero your account, and you can start from scratch. You can put your new idea to test. So don't worry, it can be done. So that's number one. Number two is a season. Let's say it's kind of I'd say maybe procrastination excuse. It's more than excuse maybe than a mistake made. But let's start after the season. Many people, many manufacturers approach us. They start account. They really have a good intention, right? They really want to use Prodio, and then they fail because they have loads of orders. They say it's a high season, right? We have so much work. Well, then it's a holiday season. It's too much work, too little work. People go on holiday. We have no staff. We can't train them. There is always something, right? There are many excuses, and some of these employees maybe even change because they continue working in chaos, right? You have so much work. You stop controlling really. You carry on with this chaotic situation. Some employees may leave to go to work different to your competitors even, right? And you end up with ineffective production. Let's use a little metaphor of a boat, right? For example, you want you got into sailing. You're brave, you want to try it, why not? You got very excited, you got a boat, you wanted to test it straight on, right? Get it out on the water, let's go, let's do that. But you lack a little bit skill, maybe equipment, just you started. First, it's easy. Maybe you start taking in a bit more water once you go deeper or farther out to the open sea. And you go farther, and you go farther, getting more water, what can happen, right? That's not really optimistic scenario, that's what we don't want to. But there is an analogy, right? You get more and more orders, more and more work. And it's like with this boat, we hopefully will not end like this, right? But then you start asking yourself, once you finally successfully start using Prodio, why haven't we done this earlier? We would save time, money, and we wasted it, right? We should have done it months ago. Okay, well, let's do it, right? No time like today. Another common mistake is the idea of having everything in one package, right? We are not talking here about large companies which search for extended ERP systems, sophisticated, right? Because for them, Prodio would be too simple. Well, if we get leads like that, we'll direct them to competitors, so we're sharing. We rather mean small manufacturers who are interested in investing in advanced production planning software. Although they don't have maybe big warehouses, they don't have large orders, but they share the same common vision, they share the same dream. They dream on integration, having everything under one system, and this is the appeal for them, right? What happens, right? The over customization, right? Because to such a system you have to enter lots of data. Have to be everything entered perfectly, very often, complete, right? Otherwise you can get stuck, and this limits your flexibility. Yes, your daily tasks can be hindered even. So we think that from our experience with working with different manufacturers, it's better to start with something simple. Just, take it step by step, and then later maybe when the need arises, go to more sophisticated system. Another mistake is the fear. I would call it even a fear. The fear of going to cloud, right? I don't have my data with me here physically because it's in the cloud. Once again, we are not talking here about the big companies, right? But rather small manufacturers, yes? They don't usually have a sophisticated protection system, right? They don't have secured Wi-Fi networks, encrypted hard drives, poorly secured connections, right? The data archives are also quite poor. We think that for them, better solution would be to use to store the data on an external server with encrypted connection, and there is no need for internal infrastructure then. A little digression. People say that if you plan to escape to a tax haven or to a place where no extradition rules apply, you need at least 7 million. So there is a question, is your data worth it? Is it really worth it? Of course, there might be other reasons for escape, but let's don't go into this. Another lesson, we can say, another mistake is the financial excuse or financial mistakes, because many of you say, but I can't afford it, it's too expensive. And you might expect that I'll be trying to convince you, right? I would try to compare that. Okay, you spent your 200 euros in comparison with large manufacturing companies which spent 100,000 euros, right? And in comparison with that, it seems to be little. Well, I'm gonna approach it differently. So let's rephrase that question and ask yourself, is 5% a lot for you? Just answer honestly. Is 5% a lot for you, right? Because I think it isn't. And let's have a hypothetical situation that you hire in your manufacturer 15 employees, right? And it costs you about, let's say, 35,000 euros for their salaries, for all the costs. If you increase your productivity by 5%, by only 5%, which would give you what, 1600, that's about right. minus subscription fee you pay for Prodio, so minus about 180 euros each month, it will still leave you, this increased productivity will still leave you very clear of about 1,500, right? That's just per month, times 12, and then you can do your math, right? Just do the math and then you see. So this is the real profit. You can make your production more profitable, more productive, more effective, right? So I think it's going to work. Think about it from this perspective, from this point of view. Just do your maths and then you see. Yes, on your example, right? Not maybe on my example here I gave you. Well, I hope that these 5 lessons will help you will show you how to avoid the typical mistake, will convince you to spend some time on implementation. It's actually not very long, but try to learn it. You know, if you still don't have your account, go to www.getprodio.com, click a green button, try for free, right? You've got a free trial, and if you've got any troubles, just either use the chat box window there, send us an email, give us a call. We'll be very, very happy to show you everything and to take you, to guide you, to take your hand and guide you for the whole process. Let's make it successful, right?